Hello and welcome to today's Daily Live English lesson, the last one in our series, the very last one. It's titled, Thanks for Watching. Pretty much, that's it. Yes, this is the last one in the series because we are going to go in a different direction when it comes to videos. So we will still create videos, but we're going to go in a different direction. But in this video, we are going to have a look at why we started the daily live lessons in the first place. So that's now shared, so people should be able to see it. So yeah, nonetheless, please make sure you still like and share the video and subscribe to the channel. It is 5 o'clock and yeah, look, in terms of the daily live lessons, this is the last one, and we've done a lot since we started, and we've had some regulars as well. So a big thank you to them. I'm going to thank some of you as well, of course. So let's have a little look. I just want to see how many videos we've actually done, because we've created a lot of videos. We've made a lot actually. So let's just see. Let's see. Arena F, as always, hello, good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining. Privyet. Welcome to today's last daily lesson. I should say a big thank you to Arena F, because she is Arena F has been one of the most committed viewers to the daily live lessons. I can't really remember the last time you missed a lesson. I'm not sure if you have, to be honest. I'll be surprised if you've seen all of them. But I know that Arena F has watched well over the majority. Very consistent viewer. So thank you very much. Francesca, you as well, since you started watching the daily live lessons, you have watched them an awful lot. You haven't missed many. So a big thank you to you as well for making the time to watch these free daily live lessons. I hope that you've enjoyed them, and I hope that you have learned from them as well. So just to give you an idea, this is the 352nd daily live lesson. That's 352 lessons. Irina F has said you've seen all of the lessons. Wow. Well, a big congratulations to Irina F. You have seen all 352 daily live lessons. I think you do deserve an award. I think you certainly do deserve an award, actually, on that one. Let me actually, you know what? Send us an email. Send us an email. Let us know that you've let us know in terms of an email to our school that you watched all 350 lessons, daily live lessons. Maybe something can be arranged. I don't know. I have absolutely no say over these sort of things. But nonetheless, thank you so much for watching every single day. A big thank you, congratulations for watching all of them. I hope that you've learnt from them. Actually, I think that's the reward. That's the main reward from any lesson, whether you've paid for the lesson in terms of, or whether you've watched the lessons online. I would say the question is, have you learned? I hope you have. Sometimes I didn't find the link, or I'm doing something. Yes, not to worry, Francesca. Look, not everyone can say that they've watched every single daily live lesson. I think Francesca F is the only person who can say that. But I know that there have been a lot of you who've watched regularly. I know that For instance, I know that Alida from Argentina has watched a lot of lessons as well. So a big thank you to Alida for joining the lessons every day. And I know a lot of former students. I think that was one of the good things about this. A lot of former students who came to AM language and then left, and they managed to remain in touch. They managed to keep on learning, and the daily live lessons made that possible. So yeah. But why did we start the daily live lessons? Well, the daily live lessons started the week after we were forced to close because of COVID-19. Now, this goes back to 2019. So yeah, this goes back to, this would be March, February, March, end of February, beginning of March. I think it was March, 2019. And like so many places, we were forced to close because of COVID-19. Hello, Evelina. Good afternoon. Another regular viewer. And thank you so much for tuning in to so many of the daily live lessons. So yes, as I was saying, one of the main reason why we started was because students couldn't come to lessons. Overnight, we had to close and lessons weren't possible. So we started the daily live YouTube lessons. And the very first lessons were always to do with outcomes because we hadn't trained the teachers to use Zoom yet either. So I started giving all the lessons on YouTube to keep things going. And I think it took us about 3 to 4 weeks before we started to give Zoom lessons. We didn't know how long this would go on for. And now it became the normal. So now so many people have Zoom lessons as well. And because of this, and the fact that that's the reason, was because we couldn't give students what they had paid for. We couldn't give students lessons. So we started the daily live lessons. And we have now been going for quite some time. That's 352 daily live lessons. And we were looking at the situation, and because that was the reason why we started, we then had to make the decision, do we continue? The students could once again receive lessons because of Zoom, and now the doors have opened to AIM language, and it looks like the doors will remain open because of the COVID regulations. You can only come into the school if you've got a vaccine passport, and there doesn't seem to be any reason now to think there's no way that students can't receive the lessons. As a result, we observed to see how things have been in terms of the viewing. And the reality is that there's just never been enough numbers, I think, to keep this going. I think the most we ever got was at certain times. I think the most might have been like 15 viewers at one time, but the average is very low, too low to continue and too low to justify it, unfortunately. So in the end, it's come to the decision that the daily live lessons are going to have to come to an end because they're not a great use of the time, really. And there's other things we can do. So we're going to try and produce different types of videos. So we will still produce videos. Next week, you will see another IELTS, for instance, testimonial video, as well as some teacher language tip videos as well. So there will be other videos being created. However, what I would say is that during this time, we've managed to increase our subscription. So how many subscribers do we have? That's always a good question. How many subscribers do we actually have? Because I know the majority of people, at least half of the people who watch the videos, aren't actually subscribed. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. So in the end, we can say that, well, 885 subscribers. So that's not too bad either. We did well. We started off with, I don't know, 40 subscribers, whatever it was, 40 or 60 subscribers, not very many at all. And it was really produced, this was just done for the students, obviously, at AM Language. And now the students at AM are very happy with their classes. They can have Zoom lessons, and now they're obviously returning to the actual school. Many of them already have. They've got the vaccine certificate, so that makes a big difference. So in the end, it's just a big thank you to all of you. Now, we've got 3 people here who have tuned in every day: Irina, F, Francesca, Evelina. So a really big thank you to you guys for always coming to the lessons. I mean, on top of that, I think there's a lot of free content now on the AM Language channel. We've got 352 free daily live lessons that covers a wide range of content. 15 short lessons that will take you from the present simple all the way to the future simple. Teacher language tip videos. So there's a lot of free tuition content there that's always going to be there as well. For me, I remember doing this even on holidays, for example, Christmas holidays, summer. So it's been a journey for me as well, doing this every day. And it wasn't always easy. Sometimes it was very difficult, but still managed to fit in the time. And in the end, it's been an interesting experience for me in terms of trying to teach people something to do with English on YouTube when I can't see them, can't get the reaction, it's just so different from a classroom. It's different from Zoom as well. So it's been an interesting learning curve from that perspective. And yeah, I would say, look, the best way to learn a language is obviously going to the place. So I really do encourage everybody, if you haven't been to AM Language yet, make sure you go to AM Language. If you are watching, if you have not been to AM Language in Malta yet, come, have a go. And if you're, and let them know that if watching our YouTube videos has been a big part of your reason to come to go to Malta and to go to AM Language, let them know. It's always good on that side of things. So yeah, that's what today's video is about. It's just a big thank you for watching. But if you guys have any questions, please let me know. I mean, for me, for example, after this time, I mean, I have now been teaching English for 10 years. 10 years this summer, actually. Was it 10 years this summer? Yeah, 10 years this summer. I think it's 10 years this summer. Or is it 9 years? 9 years, I don't know, a decade. I've lost count. It's either been 9 or 10 years now. And during that time, I've been teaching, I've taught so many people from so many different countries. And the interesting thing about being an English teacher and teaching foreign students is you get to travel the world from your classroom. And that's the great thing about international learning. The international environment where you can walk into a classroom and you've got people from Brazil, Colombia, Peru, Argentina, Korea, South Korea, Japan, Italy, Spain, Germany, France, Libya, who knows? So many different nationalities in one room. And the amazing thing is that all of these different nationalities and people come together to learn English, and you yourself end up learning a lot about other languages. You end up learning a lot about other cultures, and you end up learning about a lot about other people. I shouldn't forget Russian as well. There's a huge Russian community as well. So you get to discover all these different nationalities in the same room. I would say, if you wanted to ask me what is the hardest level to teach, I would say the hardest level to teach is beginner. Beginners are the hardest because there's they've got no previous language in terms of English, so they are the hardest to teach. It's the hardest level. You can see progression quickly, but for a teacher, it's difficult because you can't translate things in classrooms, really. You have to be very patient. You have to repeat a lot. So I would say the hardest level is probably beginners. What would I say is a really fun level? Pre-intermediates are fun. Intermediates are fun. Upper intermediates can be really fun, but very, very. I would say upper intermediates might be the. It depends. It can be the easier. It can be quite easy, but it can be also really difficult. It depends what you're going to try and what you're trying to teach. Evelina says, today is your last lesson. Yeah, today is the last lesson. It's the last daily live YouTube lesson. I think it's the last lesson in terms of the daily live YouTube lessons. And I would say that so pre-intermediate, intermediates are, I would say intermediate, pre-intermediates are probably for a teacher, it's actually probably one of the funnest levels to teach. Those two are very fun levels to teach. It also can be quite easy for an experienced teacher. I would say the thing about it is that the language isn't for the teacher. The challenge is I would say the biggest challenge for teachers at pre-intermediate and intermediate is trying to get the balance correct. It's easy to make it, the difficulty for the teacher is that you can quickly make something too easy and you can quickly make something too difficult. That's the biggest challenge for a teacher with pre-intermediates and intermediates. As for upper intermediates can be, if you're just having a conversation-based lesson, it can be quite easy. But upper intermediates will challenge the teacher when it comes to really trying to improve, to try to make that jump. So if it's like an intensive lesson, that can be quite easy. But if you've got upper intermediate students, and then you're trying to get them to an advanced level, that's the hardest jump. That's one of the hardest jumps to make. So for the teacher, that's a really difficult thing for the teacher to help to do. So in terms of going in, giving a good lesson, that's bread. That's as we would say, that's bread and butter. That's easy. Bread and butter means easy. That's bread and butter for a teacher at an upper intermediate level to go in and give a good lesson. The difficult things is that it's going to be difficult to get your students to make that improvement, to get to an advanced level. So today is the last live lesson. Yes, I'm afraid so, Francesca. Today is the last live lesson. Evelina says, I will miss your lessons. Thank you very much, Evelina. I'm glad that you will miss them. I'm glad that, when I say I'm glad that you will miss them, what I mean to say is I'm glad that you've enjoyed them. And I'm happy to see that you guys feel that you have learned as well. And there have been many things that you guys can learn. Francesca asks why. We might have missed it at the beginning, Francesca, but the reason why we started the lessons was because back in 2019, March 2019, we couldn't give our students lessons because of COVID. So I started to do the daily live lessons. And over the period of time, we've kept the daily live lessons going because of COVID, and it wasn't always possible for students to have their lessons. But now we can see that the school is going to remain open. People have got their vaccine certificates, and students can also have their lessons on Zoom, and this has been proven to work. So the reason why we started the daily live lessons is no longer an issue, and not enough people watch the daily live lessons to keep them going. So I'm afraid that's why we are choosing to stop the daily live lessons. But there are 352 daily live videos to choose from, and a lot of other content as well. But there will still be some types of videos. You will still see some videos being uploaded, which are to do with tuition and learning English. But Francesca says that she understands. Oh, excellent, very good. So yes, those were the reasons, and I'm happy to say that this has been an interesting journey as well. Learned a little bit about YouTube. But I think in future, I think one of the things that I would say is I'm not a big social media person. I don't like social media really. I'm not a fan of it. But I know that these days as well, the only thing I really know in terms of social media is YouTube. But there's so many other platforms as well. But anyway, those are the reasons. So guys, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm going to be, we've only got a couple more minutes of the last daily live YouTube lessons. What I would say is, I'd like you guys to remember that thinking back to certain lessons that we've looked at, you can find a lot of content that you don't get in classes. Content that focuses on specific things. Francesca says, I learned a lot in this lesson. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much, Francesca. I'm glad that you've learned a lot from the lessons. I mean, look, I think these lessons have been very good when it comes to things like prepositions, for example, answering particular questions to do with grammar, and building up a range of vocabulary that you might not necessarily have learned in the classroom at times, as well as some very fun lessons such as film English, music English, and yeah, there's a good range of different types of lessons that you can find. But it's free content. It's here on our YouTube channel, and you will always be able to watch it as well. Other than that, what I would say is that in terms of going forward, I'm very happy to see that the AM language has got to the stage where we can say that we can open the doors safely, that our students are getting the vaccine certificates. Evelina says, thank you very much for your help. You're welcome, Evelina. I'm very pleased to hear that. Richard, I'm very glad to meet you. Thank you very much for your lessons, for your motivating and impeccable English. May your life be also as special and unique as you are. Thank you very much, Arena F, for that wonderful, wonderful message. Oh, some lovely messages in the live chat. Thank you very much. It's always lovely to read. I will, let's see here, one moment. Yeah, let's save those. I will save those and send them to the director. Some lovely messages. Thank you very much. In terms of going forward, I would say I think I think if you are at AIM Language, if you do get to go to AIM Language and you haven't been, or if you do get to, or if you have been, AIM Language it is quite a special community. It's an interesting place because it's quite a small. That you don't think it's a big school, but the number of students that are at the school are a lot. I mean, I can remember times when there was, it really does operate like a big school in that sense. And it's been going for years as well. It's one of the most successful language schools in Malta. And I'm very happy to see that AIM Language has been able to what we would say in English, weather the storm. This is a good term, okay? Weather the storm, meaning survived. This is a good one. When you say something has weathered the storm, weathered the storm, meaning survived. So during a difficult period, not everything is going to survive, especially because of COVID. But AIM Language has been one of the language schools in Malta that has weathered the storm, meaning survived the difficulties. And I think there's some really important reasons for that. First of all, I would say the directors of AIM Language have done a fantastic job in keeping things going, making at times very difficult decisions. The sales department kept on doing what and the marketing department played their role. They kept on trying to sort of ride the very, very big waves that would come their way. And of course, from the tuition side, which is the side I know the most, I would say the director of studies, Lorraine. Some of you will know who Lorraine is, but Lorraine and her team and the teachers have all done an amazing, amazing job. And I would say that, if anything, I would just say like a massive thank you to them. I think everyone needs a good thank you, really, because everyone has done very well during this very difficult period. And I'm happy to see that. I mean, in the fact that the daily live lessons are coming to an end is actually, from a school perspective, is actually an encouraging thing, because it says, you know what, it was a really difficult period, but we've survived. And it's a great thing to be able to say that, you're one of the lucky ones, because not every language school in Malta was able to weather the storm. Francesca says, I don't like saying goodbye. It's sad. Yeah, goodbye is sad. Goodbyes are sad. But anything else? I would say, yeah. The only last thing to say would be thank you very much. We've come to the end of the last daily live lesson. Once again, a big thank you to all of you who've been watching. Much appreciated. Yeah, a big thank you to all of you. Thank you to Francesca, Arena F, Evelina for watching today. Some of the ones who I know have been watching recently, like Juan, like Manuel, for example, Alida, who hasn't been able to watch today. So a big thank you to all of you. And I wish you all the very best in the future, the very best with your studies in terms of learning English. And I hope you achieve all the things you wish to achieve, and that you all have a very good life as well. So thank you very much, everybody. Take care, and stay tuned for the different type of videos that we will upload. Glad to meet you, Arena F, says Francesca. Well, that's lovely as well, people. And that's the other thing. Students have made friends with one another as well. Manuel says, hello, Manuel. Manuel says, thank you, Richard. I've learned a lot in your lessons. Great, excellent. Thank you very much, Manuel. So take care, everybody, and see you in a different type of video in the future. Take care. Bye for now.